Jared PolandFroKnowsPhoto.com, and this is Raw Edit of the Week 51, and it's my turn to do this edit of this photo that Adam Rosenberg took and ended up painting, which you can see the oil painting popping on the screen now, and we'll also probably show it at the end just to show you. So what am I going to do to this? First things first, I am going to go with a crop because I feel that it needs a crop. And if I could find one of my stinking lens, one of my frames, I would sit here and do it that way. By the way, those frames, I'm selling them in a 3-pack now. People asked for them. I wasn't going to put them up for sale, but everybody said, not everybody, but a lot of people said, hey, I want to get some keychains. So I'm selling them in a 3-pack and it's free shipping. So it's just wherever you are in the world, if you want to order 3 keychains, there you go, free shipping on that. So let's go ahead. I'm going to keep it vertical, but I want to figure out what kind of crop I want. I know that I want to get rid of some of the things on the side, but I also want to keep his arm and other things like that. Wow, it's shot a certain way that it may not be possible to do this, and I may have to. I don't want to change the aspect ratio. That is one thing I definitely don't want to do. And when I say change the aspect ratio, I mean I don't want to do it 8:10. Wow. What would a horizontal look like? I know I just said I would like it vertical, but that's not going to work either. Gosh, darn it, Adam. You didn't make this easy on us. You did not make this easy on us. Because there's so much headroom now, I may be forced to do some things that I wouldn't normally do. So that's like cut half the glass off, line him up here. This is difficult, but let's see what it looks like. That's going to be painful to cut the glass off. I know, I'm making all these decisions on the fly. There, I've left the glass in, going to cut a little bit of his elbow on both sides, going to pull up, boom, right there. Gosh, that's painful. Too close to the edge with that. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to go back and do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I rather leave too much room and have it feel better because now I can squeeze in both arms without cutting them off. I'm going to leave the extra room. I wish I could leave in the carpety thing right here. But I'm going to go with this. I mean, if I had my druthers, I would have this whole thing in there and all of that good stuff. But I'm just going to go with this for now. And let's see what direction I want to take this. I really love the black and whites. I really want to see what we could do with this. And maybe there is something I can do to draw us back in. This guy's tough. Yeah, I'm pulling back on the clarity. I want to give it that glowy feel. I know it's with the D3100, so it's a little more difficult. But, wow, it's difficult. That's why it's cool that you guys are doing edits too. Yeah, what I was going to do is throw in one of those post-crop vignettes. And the reason that I'm going to throw in a post-crop vignette is so that I can get rid of a lot of this negative space at the bottom and just make it feel better that there's so much negative space. I'm liking that right now. I'm liking that. And one thing I wanted to also do was change my tone curve to strong, boom, and then have him stare me down. Now I'm feeling this a little bit more. I want to get it a little brighter, but I don't want to take it to the extreme. I know I'm losing a bit of the shirt. I just want to keep this old school thing. I want to keep the old school thing going for it. Let's see what some split toning would do. There we go. What would this one do? Ooh, I'm going to go with this. I like the feel of that. It's not, you know, it's interesting. It's interesting, and that's why I'm going to do it. What else could I tweak here? It's kind of like a beigeish, but it gives it that gold feel. And I don't want to lose his eye over here totally, but I just want to keep it in there. I think we're there. I think we're pretty damn close. More clarity. Oof. Less clarity. More clarity. All right, I decided I'm going to go with harsh because he's a rough and tough looking fella. So we're going to go with that. And I think that's where I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it, and let's see what Adam did, and then we will, Adam Lerner, let's see what he did, and then we will go from there and put them side by side and see what the painting looks like as well. All right, Adam, you are up.
Adam Lerner, and welcome to this week's Raw Edit number 51. And this week we have a really interesting and very cool portrait. We got this guy who's obviously a character. He's got what appears to be a little bit of scotch on the rocks and a cigarette going, and one freshly snubbed out in the ashtray here. And we've got some nice light, which I'm going to only assume is natural window light, just coming in and glancing the left side of his body here. And the way that his body's turned, he's got a little bit more light on his chest and on his hand, and it really makes for an interesting shot. I also like the way it was framed. I like the way that we've got the table kind of, the drawing you in. It's just great. We've got probably what could be a lighter over here, I'm guessing. Have no idea what this is here. So I would probably just crop it just a touch, just to lose those two items. If we saw more of the lighter, I would leave it in there. But the fact that it's just kind of like, hanging off of there, we're going to crop this. So I'm just going to go up here, and I'm just going to pull this up a little bit. And I don't want to lose any of that placemat. Nice. Now let's just see what happens if we go down with this. You know what? Maybe we'll split the difference. I'll come down just a touch. I'm going to actually... Maybe I'll just lose a little bit of this up here too. Just a little bit. Okay. Let's keep it like right there for now. The image is a little cool for me. I'd like to warm it up. I'd like to open it up. I'd like to give it a little bit more punch. I like the fact that the background is kind of like disappeared, so I don't know if I really want to see what's going on back there. Let's just take a look. No, there's nothing really to see back there. So, and I also like the dramatic lighting that we got going on over here. So I'm just going to, just bump the exposure up just a touch. I'm going to give it a little bit of fill, just something like that. Blacks, I'm just going to add just a touch of blacks, just for more drama. And we're going to add some more contrast over here like that. I'm just going to give it some clarity. And we're going to warm it up a little bit with the color temperature here. I'm going to do something somewhere, no, it's too much. Somewhere around there. And, just in looking at this, there is not a whole lot of color information. This is a definitely nice black and white candidate. So let's go black and white. We're going to hit the V key. And already that's got a lot more impact to me. I'm just going to drop this down right here, the color balance, color temperature. And I'm going to bump up the contrast a little bit more. Maybe just add a touch more fill. And I really like that. I like the way how the background has kind of disappeared. I think that this has a little bit more drama. I'm actually going to drop the exposure. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to undo that right there. I'm going to keep it where it was. I want to go and do some sharpening. So we'll just grab something like his eye right here. And, it's a little bit grainy. This was ISO 900, 1/15 of a second. So we're just going to bring that up. We're going to mask this off here to sharpen the line detail and not the textures. And, that's pretty cool. Now, something happened with my... Yeah, that's there. We're going to just fix that. Maybe just move that over there. Yeah, let's keep that. I mean, we could try to straighten the image out. I'm also wondering, what would a square crop be like if this is even possible? That might even be... Let's just see what happens when we do it square. Square crop is really kind of cool. I kind of miss a little bit of that table, but I kind of like the fact that we're way more in this dude's face, which I kind of really like. Let's see. I think what I'd like to do here is just add a little bit of toning. So I'm going to use this preset I have, BW toning, which kind of gives it like a little bit of a more sepia look over here. And I'm just still a little bit concerned about that lighter over there. Let's just see what happens if we just crop this puppy up just a little bit like that. You know, I don't mind that at all. It's actually quite cool. I like the fact that this is really incredibly moody. I like the fact that you know, the lighting is just, you know, just side of his face. You know, I think that there's more of a connection going on here now. So I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to say that this is my edit, and I'm going to pass it on to Jared and see what he's got.
Alrighty, and we almost forgot, but here we are. We are back. Adam is here. We've got my edit on the left. We've got the photographer's edit, which so happens to be a painting that he did right here in the middle, and we've got Adam's, as in Adam Lerner, on the right. What do you think, man? Right off the bat.
Off the bat, I like the painting the best. I mean, I'd say that painting is awesome. Like, Adam is so freaking talented, it's ridiculous. So, I don't even want to talk about my photo. I mean, my edit.
well,
I like my edit better because yours is like all washed out and like overexposed, and I like retaining the detail.
But you know what's funny? I like my edit better than yours for the same reason you don't like mine. I like mine opposed to yours, but that's chocolate and vanilla.
I think mine just has more edginess. It's more intense. There's more of a vibe to it. You know, I'm distracted by how bright yours is. It almost looks like it's got a tint. Did you tint it?
I did. I did a split tone.
It looks a little pink.
Doesn't look pink to me. But I haven't used my Spider 3 Elite yet to do my screen.
Oh, no.
But here,
what's the white point in your apartment right now?
Yeah. We won't even explain that right now. But you know what's interesting? You know, I'm sitting here with my viewer, you know, my slide viewer thing. And, which I was telling people, I did put it up in the store in a 3-pack. But, you know, this is how I actually like sitting at the computer now and looking at my images through the slide mount. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I do.
Yeah, so I love actually sitting here and looking at the images and seeing how I would crop it. Now, this was such a difficult picture to crop because, one, if you kept the aspect ratio like I did, I cut off the piece of the placemat. If you kept the, you know, if you went square, it kind of loses a bunch of the headroom and stuff. And if you fully cut out, you know, the cigarette and the glass, you kind of change the image. And to me, I thought he was going to keep the hand and the cigarette and the glass when he went and painted it, because to me, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yep, but, you know, there's also something to be said about just the guy's, you know, the look of the subject in this image and how Adam did such an incredible job just capturing that. And, you know, you can tell that there's something going on here. This is a pretty interesting character here that, you know, sure, the cigarette and the whiskey maybe lends a little bit of context, but the placemat in conjunction with the shirt add a lot of white or, like, you know, light space to an otherwise dark image.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
well, what's interesting about the painting is that well, he's able to bring out the chair in the background more, and things like that. Let me just do something real quick just to take a quick look and see what kind of detail is actually here.
Sure.
Okay. You see?
I did that in my video, actually.
Oh, you did? Just to see what detail was still there?
Yeah, and it's okay. I mean, the lamp doesn't really do much for me.
Then I guess that's probably why he didn't do the lamp.
Right. But, that's why I wanted to go dark and really just not get distracted at all by what was in the background. I didn't mind so much the table. I thought that it provided a nice leading line.
Yeah.
But I just felt that there was just so much space in front of the subject, and I wanted to be drawn. I wanted to be right at the subject.
Here, and I'll explain to you. My thinking was that I had to leave part of the table. I had to leave headroom, but I would use the post-crop vignette to draw you back into the image, which I think it did work in my case.
Sure. And I don't think that this was shot with the intention of being a square crop. And I don't think I normally go for a square crop, but, you know, in this case, I preferred this the most because I just felt the most connected with the subject.
Sure.
And the other thing, too, is that there was also like a lighter on the table and maybe the cigarette box.
Yeah, one was on the left and one was on the right.
Right, but they were cropped in the way in the actual image to the point where you couldn't really get enough information from them. So they definitely were worth cropping out, in my opinion.
And that's exactly what I said. The same thing during mine. So the square crop definitely went through my mind, and there's nothing wrong with the square crop. It's just the way that this image was taken. It was kind of hard to, like I said in mine, to work with it, but to see what the final image looks like as a painting, it's really obviously composed very well from that, and that's
Indeed.
nice composition.
I also just felt that I'm assuming it's natural window light, and I think that Adam did a really excellent job lighting a subject with natural light.
He did, but I'm pretty sure that he was in auto because it said ISO 900.
Yes.
So
that could very well be the case.
It's something that
I was a little stumped by the ISO 900 as well.
That means it was probably an auto. I mean, I'm definitely going to talk to him about it just to see where he was and why. It's at like f5.3 or whatever it was at 900. I'm like, yeah, that's probably an auto, which it is what it is. He's just capturing images. He's still learning. He's about 3 months into having his camera.
Well, the thing really remarkable about him is that, he sees the light and he sees the way a human form interacts with that light, and to consider that he's been shooting for such a short amount of time and he's already seeing stuff like this and capturing it is really impressive. I think he's, and I'm sure that that's a lot of how, his painting probably informs a lot of what he does as a photographer.
Sure. All right. So why don't we end it here? Interesting edits on both of our parts, but with the painting, it's really something different for us to show you a painting. But it's cool that you can see how it ended, how you can see the original photo that Adam took, and then how he ended up turning it into the painting that he ended up turning it into. And there are some really cool raw edits this week so far, and I will be making a separate video just showcasing a bunch of different really cool edits from this Raw Edit 51. And anything else you want to add, Ad?
No, again, I'm just, I think that the painting is really stellar. And this was a fun one. This was a really, really interesting shot. I'm a big fan of portraits, and I'm happy Adam is embracing photography like this.
Cool. Yep. This was a tough one, I think, for a lot of us, but we obviously did what we did, and that's about it. So thank you guys for all of your edits. We are going to make a video on that one as well. Hope you enjoy the edits that Adam and I did for this week. And thanks to Adam Rosenberg from ScratchandPaint.com for supplying the raw image and the final oil painting for us and for everybody to see as well. All right, Adam, thank you, man.
All right, man, thank you.
All right, Jared Poland, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.